Well, what like motivates you when you're in the gym? Like, let's say you're getting under 815 pounds on a squat for a set of five. What is going through your head? What do you tap into? Like, what's the main thing that drives you? Is it do you feel anger? Do you feel aggression? How do you get yourself amped up on these really big numbers, even in meets? Like, what's inside of you that brings out these kind of numbers? Because I've seen you lift, and you have that aggression. Like, what is it that you're feeling when you do that kind of stuff?
That's a really good question. I guess it's like a balance. It's a balance of understanding the realism, like the reality of what's about to happen. So when you look at a 900 plus squat, if this goes horribly wrong, that is a life altering injury. That is dunzo, like you're dunskies. Like you're gonna have to go to rehab and surgery and all that for Lord knows what amount of time. So what goes through my head is, okay, I need to do everything I possibly can to get this right. Like it needs to be perfect from the moment I put my hands on the bar to the moment I rack it back into the rack. Everything needs to be perfect. So it's like this balance between staying composed and understanding that if I don't do what I need to do, something wrong could go or something wrong could happen. So it's like my mentality is this is the price that I need to pay to be where I'm at. Like this is the cost of greatness. This is the cost of pursuing my goals. It is the price I need to pay. And that's really what it comes down to because honestly, like I hate squatting. I hate it. Like I hate doing reps. I hate doing sets like because it's if you let yourself cool down too much, like your hips start to ache, everything starts to hurt, and it's just getting under that bar becomes the biggest issue. Like it's like that mentality of like, man, like fuck this, like this shit hurts. I don't want to do it anymore. But that's what really separates people from being good and being great is doing what you hate like you love it. So when I'm getting under that bar, I'm just thinking like I need to do this. Like this is not a non-negotiable. This is not an option. Like I don't have any other way, any other thing to do except what I have before me. So that's really what goes through my head is just there is no other choice. There is no other option. You either do it or you don't. And I feel like for me that's just really what it comes down to because I'm someone who likes to think in the process and just this whole meticulous list of things that you need to do to get the job done and getting my workouts in every single day, executing, training to a standard. It's really what it comes down to. It's like how good do you want to be and what is it going to excuse me. So it's like I know what the price is. I know what I need to do to stay at the top and continue to push past these barriers. And it's not easy, man. It's not gonna be some and I'm not trying to make it sound like it's like this war zone because it isn't. Like it's a gym, it's a public gym where people go to better themselves. But as far as like how you kind of have to be a little crazy, you kind of have to be willing to like risk it for the biscuit. You know, it's not something easy or safe to do. So you have to be very cautious. You have to be very intentional. And you just got to tell yourself, do or die. Like it's really what it comes down to when you're at this level. It's like, because at any point in time, if something goes, if I'm hurt, if something goes, like that is a scary situation to be in.
So, I used to feel it when I did like 350 kilos on squat. I'm not gonna lie, like I was scared. There's fear going into those sets. Now, do you feel like an actual fear before your heavy squats? Are you literally like, do you feel scared?
I guess you could say that in that instance, I've learned to accept it because I've only failed 3 squats in training in my entire life, and I failed 1,003. Like, I've only attempted it once, and it wasn't like a bad decision. It was just not the best decision. And when you want to attempt something like that, it needs to be the best decision, not something that you're really just kind of shooting an arrow in the dark type of thing. So when I was going down, fortunately, I had my training partners with me, and they're all a bunch of strong individuals. Shout out to my brother Pablo, Lugo, and Mikey. So I knew I was in good hands, but I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to spot 1,000 pounds. So when I started going down in my head, I was literally preparing to just get crushed. Like, I was literally thinking in my head, I'm like, Jesus, like, I'm sorry. I love you. So it was just something that I had accepted. And it wasn't like a scary type of fear. It was like a dangerous type of fear, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's almost like your preparation from the months of training gives you some sense of confidence that you're not going to get crushed. But at the same time, you have to have a healthy respect for the weight. You have to somewhat go into it with a sense of what can go wrong if you're not in your A game. So it's not like you're necessarily scared. It's just like there's a healthy mutual respect. Like you respect the weight.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. That's what I like to tell people. I'm like, do not have confidence in your abilities. Do not have confidence in your mindset. Have confidence in the work you've put in leading into a moment. That's what you have confidence. You should have confidence in things that are concrete. It's like having faith, right? It's you should not put your faith in things that are feeble and things that are liable to shift in any direction. You should have confidence and faith in the things that have already happened, like living in a world of absolutes, right? Or absolutes. So to me, and that's why for me, I feel like it's a really good thing to have, because a lot of people get caught up in the things they've done, and that allows them to lax up. And it's like, you cannot do that. You need to be able to forget what you've done and focus on what you need to do. So for me, like, yeah, it's cool that I hit 24:47, but like that 24:47 is not going to matter if I shit the bed at Worlds, and I bomb out. Like, at that point, like, that's just an embarrassment. Like, that's, if that happened, like, that would literally be because I goofed off and I just like said it doesn't matter. Um, so that's perfect. Like, you need to have a respect for what you're doing, and this isn't just in powerlifting. Like, this is in everything. Like, if you want to be a gym owner, you want to be a business owner, if you want to be a good friend, a good husband, you need to have a respect for that other person or for the job at hand, right? Like, if you don't have that respect, you're not going to put your best foot forward. And that's when a lot of people start regressing. They kind of start walking backwards, or they tuck tail and turn around. It's because they never had the respect for what they're doing, so they never put their best foot forward to begin with. So it's like, you're kind of like, you can't do this half-heartedly. You shouldn't do anything you do half-heartedly, because it's just disrespectful to you, to the people that believe in you, the people that love you. And that's just not how I was raised. That's not how I believe. That's not how I believe in myself or the people around me. It's like, if you're going to be around me and I let you into my circle, it's because I have faith in you and I have confidence and respect for you, So it's just something that a lot of people, I don't think, key in on, and it's just having that respect. Like, if you want to come into the gym nilly-willy and you're just there to hang out, you're there to chill, like, that's fine. But like, kind of keep it away from me, because I'm not trying to chill right now. Like, I have a time frame in which I want to accomplish my goals, and I can't really afford like any chilling, But I mean, that's something else. Like, it's also a balance where you do have to chill sometimes, but like when you're in prep, when you're have stuff on the line, like that's when you need to like say, okay, right now is not the time to chill. Right now is the time to like have your game plan. You formulate the steps you need to do, and you attack. And that's really what it comes down to, is having that respect for all that.
Now, I have to circle back to something you said a little earlier. So you said you don't like squatting really. What's your favorite lift then? Do you enjoy deadlifting or benching, or what's your favorite?
I think the most pleasing would be bench, because who doesn't like to have a nice pump? And just the accessories that I do after bench are very like I like doing bodybuilding work. I preach on it. Bodybuilding work is a necessary component to just being a well-rounded powerlifter, a well-rounded athlete, because it helps work on the areas that you don't hit squat, benching, and deadlifting. So if you have a weak bench, what is something that you can work on? Triceps, okay? Do some bodybuilding tricep movements. If you have weak grip, what do you do? Like, what muscles affect your grip? Your forearms. Boom. Go do some bodybuilding forearms, like a little workout for your forearms. Um, and it's like, that's just really how I see it. It's like the perfect backup per se. So it's like, I would say bench, and then deadlifts when my lower back's not hurting. But it's not that I hate, like, I say I hate it because it makes me sound kind of like bitchy, but like I just left the train, man. Like everything that I do, everything that I involve my time with, it's something that I'm very passionate about. And I plan on training and lifting weights until the day that I kiss dirt. I really don't see myself doing anything else other than like, well, okay, I'm talking about training. Like I'm gonna train. I don't see myself doing anything other than training as far as like my way to stay healthy for the rest of my life. That's what I mean. Because I do see myself like improving as a coach, and I do have aspirations to start a brand, like start a gym, like all that fun cheese. That's hopefully gonna come down later in the line. But man, like when it gets tough, when you got to do a set of 8, it's like, damn, I have one more set left, and I feel like dog crap. Why do I have to do this? But then I just kind of think to myself, and I'm like, I know why I'm doing this. I don't have a choice. So I get back into the bar. But don't get me wrong, like if I'm hurting, I'll like drop the weight, and I'll do like a high bar beltless set with less weight, but at least I'm getting the reps in. And at that point, it's mental. You know, it's really mental, because it's just the deposit that I'm making. It's the devotion, and it's just like, okay, I did everything. Let's move on.